On a silvery Wednesday morning, where, as you can see, the price of silver has shot significantly higher, currently up on the Kitco chart about 43 cents, 1.77%. And of all the things people could be doing today, why would they be buying silver? Is it at all tied to, I'll call this record setting? They say more than 30 years, but keep in mind that 30 years ago there was a much different inflation formula. If we knew the real numbers, silver might be up $44 once Americans find out just how clueless Jerome Powell, Ben Bernanke, any one of those front runners at the Fed has ever been. Actually, they're not clueless. They know exactly what they're doing. This is a Broadway bank robbery. And now you see, despite Jerome Powell making a complete fool out of himself, not just domestically in the United States, but really around the globe. Especially, I love telling Mexicans here in the silver capital about what a con job the American financial system is, where their alleged finest, someone in CNBC even called Jerome Powell the maestro earlier this year, wresting away the title from Alan Greenspan. Yet despite his claims that all this inflation is transitory, now U.S. consumer prices jumped 6.2% in October, the biggest inflation surge in more than 30 years. And God only knows, if they weren't rigging the numbers, what it would look like. But inflation across a broad swath of products, those swaths of products and shitty BlackRock index funds, they're everywhere, and they're grossly mispriced. Not financial advice, just my own personal opinion. Jenny Alicia says, don't worry, it's temporary. We'll write a song about that. I like it. Because on a monthly basis, the CPI only increased 0.9% against the Goldman Sachs 0.6% estimates. Now, it didn't say Goldman Sachs there, but if you study this stuff long enough like I did, and you were a little misguided in your 20s and went to Wall Street rather than come down to Mexico for some good tacos and silver, you start picking up on those things. And you notice CNBC, whenever they cite an economist, it's usually JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs. Maybe Jeff Christian's been busy to comment on any of these silly things that these guys lie about month after month. Although the silver price sharing some truth today, up a 42 burger early on. We'll see if Rosti, the Exchange Stabilization Fund, Janet Yellen, and some of the true traders and criminals, not just in the United States, but I might add that if you're watching this internationally, perhaps if you're a foreign governor or foreign government official looking at who has hurt your nation, now you have the evidence. Eric Hoffner, I see your comment. Maybe Chris will be right one of these days. Well, with all due respect, sir, I think I've gotten more than a thing or two right. And perhaps later, when we have some extended coverage of this, I will show the text message I sent to me amigo Dave Kranzler saying that I wonder if, where's my mouse? Now, this is at 5:45 Central Time AM, so a couple hours before this happened. I said, just a guess, but I've been tracking my intuition lately. And I wonder if the fact they spoofed it down yesterday, even as the PPI was setting a record, now they've already gotten many of the long holders on the fraudulent COMEX out of their long positions. So now that they've stopped them out, as Bart Shilton, former CFTC commissioner, who any of the current frauds at the CFTC are afraid to even speak his name, rightly so, because I can't imagine he would be proud. But when you connect all of these facts that CNBC isn't even aware of, that you can't find elsewhere, I suggested, I wonder if they got out of their shorts, or at least as much as they could, and then we're going to let it rip today. So Eric, I would suggest I've been right about a lot of these things, especially the reason why silver is poised to do what it is. So with all due respect to your comment, I'm going to feel good about myself and go do a little more research. Eric, just saying, I may have put these trades on even before I made the video yesterday, so I wasn't just talking my mouth, I was putting my money behind it. And fortunately, I'm long some First Majestic silver calls. Proud sponsor to the show, not for any political reasons, but just because I think it's a great stock. Not legal financial advice. You'd have to see if you could get through to the CFTC to get clarity and transparency on that tamp down policy, but just an honest guy living a good life, trying to help the little folks against the big bad banks. And I understand some people like it, some don't. But hit the share button so that more people can understand this, because just imagine if 1% of the population knew what you knew, let alone 2 or 3. So hit that share button, because we will have more coverage of this one coming your way later today.